And welcome to the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
And sounds like someone's in the back too. We also have our buddy. Wait a minute. There it is. I hate Brady Bunch in this thing. There we go.
We can't hear him.
And just before we get too far, also, my screen is stuck on the countdown.
Oh, okay. Here, 1 second. Let me back him out and bring him back in.
How about now?
How about now? We can't hear you, Dave.
Hear you.
Tell you what, I'm going to kick you out real quick. Just log right back in, okay? Okay.
James, is your screen moving yet?
Nope.
Oh, boy.
What? Well, that's on his end. I'm not worried about that. Hello, puppy. And for all those listening in the podcast realm, there's a dog.
Is that what you see through mine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, because I still am stuck on the countdown.
No, you're moving. We can see you just fine.
Yeah.
This is Sasha, by the way.
Hello, Sasha, by the way.
Hello.
That's a weird name.
By the way,
Sounds
it's a family name.
But yeah, mine's still... Did you try and boot me out and bring me back in?
No, here, let's try it real quick. How's that?
No, I'm still on the countdown.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm just going to try something. It might, in fact, be on my end.
Oh, boy.
Well, Greg's already commented, hey, everyone, I'm playing the James Taylor drinking game. Every time he picks an obscure movie, you take a shot. I'm getting loaded tonight.
Well, so at least half in the bag, Greg. Okay, hang on. I'm going to...
There we go. Dave?
I think we're good now.
Hey there. Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yes, we can. Excellent. But we lost James.
Oh, no.
Another day at the office. Well, we're going to introduce you, Dave, because, man, you're our guest today.
Right.
You and your little co-host.
Hello.
Say who you are.
Hello.
Zoe who?
Montoya.
Zoe
Zoe
Montoya.
The Zoe Montoya? That
Like,
Zoe?
The Zoe Montoya.
Whoa.
Oh. Shit.
Hey, language.
Sorry. Okay.
Are you okay over there now?
I can see you.
We're moving?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
All right.
There we go. Okay, so Dave comes to us all the
Hi
way
there.
from sunny California. How's the
We're
weather
at
down there
night.
right now?
It's a beautiful 83 degrees right now.
I've
It
just
is
invented
really
a few words I cannot say right now.
Yep. Bite my tongue. Well, we're not that bad, but still, we're not
Yeah.
83.
We're getting there. Just a couple days ago we had snow, but we're getting there
Yeah.
slowly. So Dave, what have you been up to lately? Because we know you from, World of Myth magazine, the Jazomon podcast network, oh my gosh, the expo. What? I'm drawing a blank.
There's a bunch of stuff. Well, actually, we are officially in open contract challenge season.
There we go.
Where we publish the winner of the contest, and that's underway. The pitches are coming in. We hired a brand. Yes, I saw that Jason entered this year. I'm very excited about that. We have a new director for the competition. Last year's winner, Walter G. Esselman, he's running the show this year. With the front of the PCE, the Jazomon Pop Culture Expo, since we had to postpone it because we were supposed to do it February 14th, we pushed it all the way to October 30th. And this year is going to be horror themed. And here's your exclusive. Jazomon Pop Culture Expo 2021. And that will be happening the day before Halloween.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
Looking forward.
And you did the same thing we ended up doing. CKX is going to be October 23rd. So we're the week before you.
Okay.
But you gotta shoot for the end of the year and cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, because we had to and I'm sure you understand this from a business standpoint. You last minute renegotiation of the contracts and like, this is still in effect. If you want to come for Halloween, you can come to Halloween, or if things are better, even more so, because we're looking at, and I'm going to drop you another exclusive. PCE 2022. February 11th, 2022.
There we go.
Whoa.
2 dates.
So
Love it.
Yes.
You're gonna follow up that quickly. That's ambitious. That's ambitious.
I think Dave and I will be chatting a lot during those 4 months because CKX did it once before. We had an October show where Tyler came, and then, I can't remember who came to the October show. It was a year we thought we weren't going to have it, but we had it in October, and then we had it again in April, and that was insane planning. And we're doing it again this year. So Dave and I will be chatting a lot. Keep each other sane. But that's great, man. I'm glad you're keeping it alive. That's perfect.
We are actually doing really well as far as business-wise, wrestling-wise. We had to postpone the JPWI, but we're going to be bringing that back in October as well. We're having a brand new world title crafted, and we are shortly to announce the participants for the first annual World Tag Team Tournament. So whoever wins Tag Team Tournament will be named our first Tag Team Champions.
Very cool.
Nice. Well done, buddy.
Thank you.
He just keeps flying with this stuff, doesn't
Yeah.
he? That's what you got to do then.
I realized something that I can't do. I mean, that's not true. Okay. That I don't want to do this on my own no more. So
There you go.
So I delegate. I actually have a board of directors now, and it's just, especially with me working in the hospitals, it's taking so much extra unneeded pressure off me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I for one am excited. I can't wait to hear all about what happens at PCE 2021. And with the new open contract challenge too. That's exciting.
Vote for Jason.
Let me plug this one real fast.
Yes.
For PCE Scarefair 2021, we are going to have Walter G. Esselman's winning book, Super Horror Max. And the cover is created by this young lady right here.
No way.
She did the cover.
Way to go, Zoe. Look at you.
Congratulations.
A published piece
Go
of
ahead.
art. That is awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations. What inspired you? Did you read the
got
book?
paid for it too.
Whoa.
Nice.
She's a professional.
Wait a minute.
She
Yeah, we don't
is.
even get paid for this.
She's obviously got better agents.
I think so. Alrighty.
Well,
Well,
at one
let's
point,
get
when she's 18, she'll do the hospital takeover and take over Dad's business.
You
there
hope.
we go. Yep. Yeah. By then you'll be hoping. Yes.
Please do it.
Alrighty. Let's get to our topic today. Top 10 comic book films from before the year 2000. This was interesting putting together.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah,
So,
because
as
really the
always-
boom is after 2000. So
Yeah. Once X-Men came out, the floodgates opened.
yeah.
So I think we might see a little overlap. I'm waiting to see.
Oh, I guarantee
just a
it.
little.
So, as always, we start with our guest. Dave, what is your number 10?
Trying to get it loaded.
Oh, he's got to get to his list. Okay, we'll bypass him for just a second. We'll go with Jason.
All right. Well, my number 10 is from 1994. Launched, helped continue to launch and launch superstar career. I'm talking 1994 is The Mask.
Aha.
Nice.
Jim Carrey, Cameron Diaz. That was like her first major role. You know,
We start with an overlap already. That's my number 7.
I'm not surprised. I'm sure there's going to be a few, and I think I know where a couple number ones are going to land. But
Yep.
yeah, The Mask. It's pretty iconic. It's a great film, a lot of fun. Jim Carrey really gets to shine both with the effects and without.
Yep.
So yeah, it had to be on the list.
And the introduction of Cameron Diaz.
Yep.
Right? Awesome film. Are you up and running, Dave?
All right, I went a little bit further back to 1953,
Oh,
and it is Superman versus the Atomic Man, which was actually a German-made film. Initially, it was released July 20th, 1950, but it didn't really hit worldwide until 1953. And it's a monster film, 253 minutes. And when you start watching it, you're like, oh, this is where they got the Quest for Peace came from. Okay. And as sad as it says, even though it's from 1950, this film is way better than the Quest for Peace.
Wow.
and
That's a low bar.
True.
But if you can't top something that was made like 30 years prior.
just don't do it.
Yep.
All right, James, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is technically a miniseries, but that's just a long movie chopped up into episodes. It is from 1993. It is the Twin Peaks-esque miniseries called Wild Palms. Now, I put it at number 10 because while I do remember enjoying it, I don't remember a lot of it. But it does have, let me give you some of the cast here. You got Jim Belushi, Dana Delaney, Robert Loggia, Kim Cattrall, Angie Dickinson, Ernie Hudson, let's see, Nick Mancuso, Bebe Neuwirth, Bob Gunton. There was Brad Dourif is in there. There was a ton of people in there. And Catherine Bigelow, Keith Gordon, and Catherine Bigelow and Keith Gordon were two of the directors on it. So, but I remember it being a pretty weird because it takes place in the future where this huge conglomerate has control of this weird technology and trying to take over the world. I know, original idea and all, but it was pretty entertaining back then.
I don't think I've heard of that one, let alone watched it.
I had seen it on TV because it was a miniseries, obviously, but I managed to find the DVD of it in a store a few years ago. So
Be careful, man. I watched B, I think last year. That's no,
the original.
no.
Don't trample my
should've-
childhood, man.
Right? I should have left it good enough alone because I remembered it so much different than what reality said.
Yeah, it has been a long time for me, but that's my childhood. Don't trample my childhood.
Yeah. Well, this one that I picked from 1986 does not disappoint. It's exactly the same it was back then, and I love every frame of it. I have it on Blu-ray. It's Howard the Duck.
Oh, just barely missed my list. And I have the Blu-ray as well.
I love Howard the Duck.
I look back on it fondly, but I haven't watched it in a long time. I wanted to include it somewhere. I didn't even put it in my honorable mentions, and I feel like maybe I should have. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I'm going to be honest. My 10 to 6 entries and even my honorable mentions, like there could be a lot of fluctuation there. I'm not overly confident in my placements of those, and Howard the Duck's unfortunately not in any of them. So, but it does hold a special place on my heart. I do remember looking back on it fondly.
I'd like to see a movie that pits Howard the Duck versus Howard the Duck. Because I think the original Howard the Duck would kick the crap out of Seth Green's Howard the Duck.
Well, I don't know. The Seth Green Howard the Duck did help fight Thanos' army in Endgame.
Right?
He was in the mix.
there. He was there, but are there any screen caps of him actually contributing?
Doesn't matter. We know he was there. He had to be in the fight.
That's right.
Yeah, but the original took down Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, with a giant freaking laser.
What?
How else?
You have to use what you have around you. Number 9, Dave, what you got?
The 1979 classic Captain America.
No.
Wow.
Wait. Did you say classic in there?
I did. Hey,
I guess by age alone, it counts as a classic.
back when I saw it, that's all we had. We didn't have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This was just Captain America on a motorcycle with a really bad looking shield. Even worse helmet.
I don't
actually
even remember them.
Oh,
I never saw that one. I do remember watching the live action Spider-Man TV show, but
No, I remember Captain America.
That's actually I'm getting there.
I got to meet Captain America. I think it was 3 years ago. Rochelle was doing a show in Buffalo, and I went down to visit her, and Jeb was sitting at a table across from her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I got to chat with him for a bit. The scary part was I didn't know who he was at first. So we were chit-chatting away the whole time, and then it dawned on me. It's like, son of a gun. Yeah, good pick, because nothing's better than Captain.
Why they always put more budget in the Red Skull's makeup than they did the main character himself. That always blew my mind.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, Rob, you said Jeb?
Yes.
Isn't it Matt Salinger?
Captain America? No. Is it Jeb Brown, I believe?
According to IMDb, the 1990 Captain America, it was Matt Salinger.
No, it's 1979.
79.
Okay.
You're looking at the wrong one.
Oh, there it is.
James.
Rob Brown.
Oh, okay. He goes by Jeb.
All right. I didn't know that there was one before that. Oh, my mistake.
Yeah. Now you got to look it up.
I just did.
Jason, I mean, watch it. Jason.
Oh, that's really that's really a different request.
I'm going to the one movie on this list that just makes the cut. 1999 Mystery Men.
Ooh, just missed it.
You know, that movie came out of nowhere because it's from such a relatively unknown comic, The Flaming Carrot. And but it's just so goofy. But what's not to love about Goofy? You know, the whole invisible boy thing. He can only turn invisible when nobody's looking. Or Pee-wee Herman as the spleen.
Greg Kinnear, Captain Amazing.
Yep.
That one was my number 11, literally.
Okay.
And who else is going to have a villain name called Casanova Frankenstein?
Jeffrey Rush just chewing the scenery in that role.
There it is, Mystery Man, 1999. There it was. I lost the year.
And that's one of the first starring roles, I think, for William H. Macy, really.
Certainly an early one.
Oh, I wonder now.
He was more of a supporting guy. He was like one of those guys. Oh, you know, you recognize him, you see him, and he stands out. But to me, that's one of his first where he's a lead.
It was before Fargo, right?
That I'm not sure. I'm not sure when Fargo came out.
Yeah, I don't know where that one places.
But
Well,
it's a
let's see.
classic, and thanks to that movie, we got All Star from Smash Mouth. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that song.
Fargo.
Exactly.
Fargo was 1996. So he did that a few
Okay.
years after Fargo, but
All right.
it was a big budget role.
Yes.
Nice. All right, then, James, what you got?
My number 9's from 1982. It is the Wes Craven horror sci-fi Swamp Thing.
Wow.
I forgot about that one.
I remember it, but it's been way too long that I could not consider it even on my list because it's been way too long. I don't know if it held up.
I picked up the DVD not too long ago and watched it, and while the effects are a little 1982-ish, I think the acting holds up.
I have to revisit that.
I that's one that's been on my. Maybe I should look back on it. I've been thinking about that movie on and off for a while.
I do remember it scaring me a little as a kid. The final, like where the bad guy starts to turn into like an evil Swamp Thing and they have their fight. I remember being creeped out by that.
Yeah, same.
I got to rewatch it. All right. My number 9, I didn't realize was a comic book adaptation until I got digging around. 1985's Weird Science.
I discovered that yesterday as well.
I saw that, and the connection to call it a comic book movie is so thin.
It's
Really?
based on a story from EC Comics.
Is it
In one
actually
of their
based on a story, or
anthologies.
is it just the title was pulled from the EC Comics?
No, it was from a story.
Okay.
The future is... Oh, I can't remember the name now.
See, when
Modern
I saw
is the
that and I
future.
looked at it, it made it the thing I read kind of implied that it was strictly based on the title alone. That they admit
no,
the
'cause the
title
title's-
was pulled.
Title's not even the same.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to include that once I found out it was a comic book adaptation.
I would have, but again, I felt that connection was too thin. But I didn't realize it was an actual story. The way I'd read it, I thought it was just they pulled it from the title.
And now you know.
And now I know. do.
Go, Joe. All right. Number 8, Dave.
Another spectacular movie from the 70s, the 1977 Spider-Man. See what I did there?
Spectacular movie. Nice.
I have vague recollections of those old Marvel things, but not enough to remember really. I just vague recollections.
It was
I only knew about
really
the TV
bad.
show.
Yeah, it was so bad it was fun. It's one of those movies.
It was.
You know?
It was. It was just like, in fact, I tried to go back over it. You can pick it up at iTunes.
Oh wow!
And I tried to revisit it, and yeah.
Better not to.
It was rough.
Well, I make it in the list because I paid for it.
Fair enough. So this has been a paid advertisement for Spider-Man 1977.
Now, do you think they might pull that Spider-Man into the that live-action Spider-Verse movie that they're got in the works?
That would be cool.
That would be great.
That would be cool. Actually, an artist buddy of mine, he's working with some of the people that hold the rights, and he's doing a comic book based on that Spider-Man.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
His art even looks like the actor. It's really good.
That's cool.
It's fun because
right,
you're
please.
like, who's the villain? So it's like.
Actually, who was the villain in that movie?
That's my point.
Don't remember.
All right, we are going to have a movie madhouse exclusive. Your guest is going through the drive-thru.
Nice.
because their daughter is starving.
Well, look at her. She's wasting away.
Right? She's a paid artist, man. Feed her.
Yeah. We got your back, Zoe.
All right. While they're going through the drive-through, Jason, number 10 or 8.
Number 8. Going to 1990. The first of a trilogy, and then there's been remakes. But there's just something about the darn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtle power, baby.
That's my number 5.
See, again, not surprised that there'd be overlap, but there's something about that first Ninja Turtles movie that it just worked.
Oh yeah.
You know, like even just the look of the turtles themselves, they pulled it off.
Yep.
And this is before CGI.
And I was watching this weird little video. You remember? I can't remember the sidekick's name from part 2. He was the pizza delivery kid.
That was Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah, he was actually one of the turtles in the first movie.
Oh, really?
Corey Feldman's turtle. I don't remember the name.
He was Donatello.
Yeah,
Donatello.
He was Donatello.
Oh, wow.
So he was a turtle, then he became their sidekick.
You also got Sam Rockwell as a foot soldier.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
In the first one or the second one?
In the first one.
Really?
That's great.
Because we had a screening of the new Ninja Turtles several years ago, and it was pretty bad. But then afterwards, we watched the original, and the original looks pretty bad, but is a way better movie. But it was like probably like a not a remastered DVD copy, so it looks like it was from 1990 or so. But the acting is better, and just it's a better movie that just doesn't look like a big budget.
But yet it was then.
Yeah, it was.
Well, yeah.
And the soundtrack. The soundtrack was awesome.
Go Ninja, go. No, we never bring up Vanilla Ice on this program ever.
Technotronic all the way.
Okay, now we need to find a topic where we can somehow include Cold as Ice in the list somewhere. I don't know what genre. I'm not sure what topic that's going to fit. But
you mean Ice Ice Baby?
No,
movies starring singers.
There we go. Okay, he did a movie called Cold as Ice.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you not know about this?
Maybe because I have faith. I don't know.
Okay, that's a topic we might have to get to, James.
See, they brought David on here, so he'd bring his kid, so I couldn't swear.
100%. That was it. James, number 8.
My number 8 from 1985, with a semi-stacked cast here, is Red Sonja.
Oh, snap. I forgot about that one.
Bridget Nielsen, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It wouldn't have made
I've
seen it twice.
Ernie Reyes Jr. again. Ernie Reyes Jr.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one that I just don't remember well enough. That
I do remember.
It was supposed to be, they were trying to cash on the Conan connection because Arnold has that small role and everything. So, but it just didn't work for me back then, and I have not revisited it since it came out. So,
well, fair enough. I remember watching it, saying like, "Oh, Bridget Nielsen's hot in this great sword and sandal movie," and Conan's right there, although he's called Calidor. Yeah, and he's not Conan.
He was in witness protection for that one.
That's right. No one knew who he was. Let me see. Mine's a little bit newer than that. 1997. And I know it got panned, but I still love this adaptation. To my knowledge, it's the only one. Spawn.
Oh, that's my number 7.
Yes.
And that's in my honorable mentions. And there is a remake coming starring Jamie Foxx.
I've been hearing that for 5 years now. So it's one when I see stills of them filming, I'll get excited.
I think COVID has hurt that one, because that one I believe was supposed to be filming last year.
Todd McFarlane posted a script almost 6 years ago now. He goes, "Yes, the movie's on its way," and I'm still waiting. And there wasn't COVID 6 years ago.
That's true. That's true.
But no, with movies, it takes time.
Yes.
It takes time.
And that Spawn movie, like, I remember it looked cool, like the effect of the cape when he crashes into that ballroom or whatever. Like, that whole thing was cool. I just felt, I don't know, there was something missing because I was a big Spawn fan when that movie came out.
Spawn is not a character you can physically represent. You need a little CGI in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fact.
And the effects for that movie were great. I liked Leguizamo as the clown.
Yep.
But I don't know, something fell short for me for that film.
I liked it. So
was it Martin Sheen's hair dye?
That could be it. Dave, number 7. Oh, he's at the drive-thru right now.
Turn on the mic. Okay. 1977 Superman. That is Christopher Reeve, Marlon Brando. It doesn't get better as far as superhero movies until after 2000.
I was going to mock you just a little bit because you haven't even hit the 80s in any of your picks yet. But they're all dang good, Like they're good picks. So
now I have 78 for that movie because that's my number 5.
Is it 78? Okay.
Yeah, I have 78, and that's my number 5, and that's a strong 5 for me. Like again, my 5 to 1. Those are my solid picks on this list. And that Superman movie, it was spot on. It was Superman, and I still chuckle at the line of "I've got you, you got me, who's got you?"
Exactly. Exactly. All right then, Jason, what's your number 7?
My number 7, again, a little bit on the obscure side, 1995's Tank Girl.
That's my number 4.
I knew that was going to be on your list.
I wanted to have it higher, but I had to start working with the rewatchability thing, and I just haven't gone back to it enough to keep it there, to get it higher.
Another great soundtrack.
Yeah.
You said you're number 4, James?
4. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jason, after you and I chatted about Lori Petty, I knew it was going to be on there.
I do adore Lori Petty, and that was a great role. They've been bantering for doing a reboot with Margot Robbie, and I please don't do it because Margot is stuck as Harley Quinn, and Tank Girl and Harley Quinn are very similar. I feel like that's just typecasting at this point.
You run the risk of having Tank Girl look like a modified Harley.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not totally against a reboot, but it can't be Margot Robbie. They need to go with someone else there.
Pick an unknown.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, James, we know yours. Number 7 is Spawn. My number 7, The Mask. So that means we jumped right to number 6. Dave, what's your number 6, or can you talk?
I don't have the info on it yet, but it's Conan. We're moving into the 80s.
Conan. I will find out what year that was. Yeah, that's just him and that sword. It's iconic.
It is. It's I don't know, just the as a kid seeing it for the first time, seeing it in theater, seeing this big old Arnold Schwarzenegger pushing that grinding wheel, and then it just.
Well,
I would have included it. I would have included it because I know there is comic book that was based on Conan and whatnot. But for me, like Conan is based on a novel series, not before the comics. So that's why I didn't want to include it in here. That's just my personal categorization.
You leave Dave alone. He finally hit the 80s.
Oh no, I have no problem with it. I understand it. I don't disagree with it. Just personally, I don't categorize Conan as a comic book movie.
Fair enough. What do you categorize?
Check out the Conan comics from Marvel back in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah. They had a ton of them.
I'm aware.
All right, then.
Before I
Dave.
got into reading the book, the short stories, I was more familiar with Conan through the comics. So in my brain, that's how I associate. Even though I realized that the books come out first.
Sure.
I met so many people that read the books because of the comics. You know, like it's nice medium that allows you to bounce back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. Jason, what do you consider a good comic book movie? Like maybe say your number 6.
Well, this is a rare case, as you're going to see, where I have included a film and its sequel in the same list. 1980, Superman 2. I included it in the list as well. Normally, I put sequels together if I feel like they, but no, like Superman 2 stands on its own for me.
Which cut?
I'm talking the original. To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen the Donner cut.
Really?
I don't know if I've ever watched it. But the original for me was like it was tragic, you know. That movie kind of tears your heart out at one point.
Yeah, it kind of does.
So you know, and being such a fan of the original, to see what he goes through in the sequel, like oh my gosh, that was devastating to well at that time I was 6, you know.
You got traumatized.
Just about.
There we go. Jason's first traumatization, and he remembers it.
And those three Kryptonians, man, they were terrifying to me as a little kid, especially the one who didn't speak.
The
Nom,
big guy.
Nom, I think was his name, or Nod.
I can't remember the name. I know it's Nod. That's it.
But yeah, well, I think his name was Nom, and he was the one that like most terrified me.
I'm going to look that up because now I'm curious. Superman 2. What were their names?
There was a funny story. I had listened to a podcast where they interviewed that guy, and he actually at one point had Christopher Reeves by the throat up against a wall just because Reeves apparently was giving him attitude or something.
Wow.
Jack O'Halloran is Non.
Non, Zod, and Ursa.
Yep.
I knew Zod and Ursa. I just couldn't remember his name exactly.
Yeah, if you want him at CKX, give me a call later.
Done. There we go. All right, James, number 6.
My number 6 from 1994, the Jean-Claude Van Damme time traveling action movie, Time Cop.
Nice, Paul.
Saw that one. I've only watched it once, and it's like,
What?
So
That movie's awesome. Tape that one off TV. Used to watch that all the time.
See, once you hear mine, you'll understand why. Okay, because it's just mine is a real comic book movie.
Oh,
whoa!
My anticipation just took a dive.
Okay, and it's got Jennifer Connelly. 1991, The Rocketeer.
Never seen it.
All right, I knew this was going to be on your list, Rob,
Mhm.
and that's why I watched it for the very first time on Saturday.
Yes.
For the very first time, never watched it.
And
No.
what?
Nope. I don't get the hype. I realize that I'm watching it, almost 40 years since it came out, but the effects did not work. The story barely made sense. The Nazi twist was I saw coming a mile away, and the acting was pretty questionable for the most part.
Ooh.
Oh, apparently we have technical difficulties. Hopefully we can get Jason back soon.
I expected that, but yeah, it just did not work for me at all.
But Jennifer Connelly is in it.
I believe me, I love me some Jennifer Connelly. She's one of my, my crushes from back in the day and all. Even more recently because she was in Alita Battle Angel and still looks amazing. That movie just did not work for me.
Okay. You're allowed to have a wrong opinion. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not fighting over it. I'm just stating it didn't work for me.
No, I got to be honest. I watched it twice when it came out in the theater. I think I've seen it twice since then. But it's very nostalgic to me because I used to love the book.
Okay. Well, see,
Right.
that gives it a whole different flavor for you.
Yeah.
Me going into this movie knowing pretty much nothing about it other than it was a guy with a jetpack, not knowing anything, source material, anything like that. Yeah, it did not work for me.
So now you know, if you have not read the comic, don't watch the movie. You won't.
No, that is not the case.
Sure.
Have you seen any of Invincible, the new show from Robert Kirkman?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's fantastic stuff, and that's one that I know nothing about, but it's fantastic series so far.
Because that's original. It's not based on a comic book.
Yes, it is.
What?
It's based on a comic book.
I'm gonna look that up. I was told it was an original.
I was told it's based on an original comic book. That's
We'll
what
find out
I've
next
read.
week.
So
We will find out for next week.
all right.
Number 5, Dave.
All right, this movie came from the land of 1984, which two things I learned in that year: the love of horror movies, of Freddy Krueger, and Bonds. And I'm saying Supergirl, 1984.
Nice.
That's in my honorable mentions. It
I-
almost made it into the list.
Absolutely love how both of those have nothing to do with Supergirl, but that was awesome.
What? Supergirl was a blonde?
What's
Did
that?
you say? Did you say blondes or Bond?
Blonde?
Oh,
Blonde hair?
okay, that makes a bit more sense. Yes, okay. Because I thought horror and Bond and Supergirl.
I firmly remember going to the movie and seeing this on opening night,
Firmly.
and it just stuck, you know. And of course, you have Peter O'Toole's in there, and he played an amazing role. And then, of course, the Phantom Zone comes back into play. To me, I thought it was a fun movie, and it stuck with me all these years. So
I look back on it fondly. It's been a long time, but I know I watched the heck out of that movie back in the day.
Oh yeah.
See, I did until Legend of Billie Jean came out, and then that was my Helen Slander movie. That was my go-to. I had to. Okay, Jason, we already know you are Superman.
Yep.
James.
My number 5 from 1990, starring Dylan McDermott, is Hardware, the Richard Stanley film.
I was on the fence on that one. I know it's technically a comic book movie, but it sucks.
It is not. It is great. It's better. It's better than Superman.
Oh. He only said that because Jaws isn't on this list, okay? Okay, well, my number 5 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We know that. So we're going to jump right to Dave for number 4.
It had a great transfer. When they put out the special edition DVD, the movie looks great.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
Okay, back up to Hardware for a second, Dave. Sorry. I did.
Jason needs time to recover.
You know, I did.
I don't know if I can recover from those words, James.
What? That it's better than Superman?
Yeah, a movie that pretty much nobody knows or remembers compared to, one of the most iconic comic book movies of all time.
That isn't as good as any of the other recent iterations of Superman?
Okay.
Supergirl is better than Superman.
Dave, number 4. Quickly.
This movie is an iconic movie, and it created two phrases that all you have to do is say it and you know what it is, and that is, have you danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Or my personal favorite, this town needs an cinema.
Yes.
I'm talking about Batman 1989. Michael Keaton, who is the Batman in my book, Joker, Jack Nicholson, I think he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. I think anybody that has followed the Joker since him has always tried to kind of inflict that same personality somewhat. God, it's even this one's nodding. It's a great movie.
That's my number 2. Yes. That has got such rewatchability, and a soundtrack by Prince.
Yes.
That says it all.
It's in my honorable mentions, but honestly, I haven't gone back to that in so long.
Gotta do it. All right, then, Jason, what's your number 4?
My number 4, 1997, Men in Black.
That's my number 4.
It was a surprise movie, and it was another one that when it came out, had no idea it was based on a comic book.
Yep.
And it was just so much fun. The effects looked great. The story was so much fun and made sense. And okay, yeah, sure, the first sequel was questionable and all, but I really like Men in Black 3. I thought it was pretty well done.
I haven't played all of them. Like even International was okay.
Yeah, you're right. It was okay. It wasn't horrible, but it was just okay, kind of. But that first one, though, that to me was a home run.
To me, that one stands out as the very first comedic, like massive comedic role for Will Smith too.
Well, yeah. If you like, for movies, yes.
Yeah, where he played almost like a serious lead. You know. Because it was before that, it was like Enemy of the State and
Independence Day.
That was action. It wasn't comedy.
Right.
This was comedy more than action.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. That's my number 4 too. Good pick. I have to agree with you on that one. Yes. We know James's was number 4 was Tank Girl.
Tank Girl, yes.
Mine was up. So it brings us back to Dave for number 3.
Number 3 is another iconic movie. Now we're moving to the 1990s with Brandon Lee's Crow. How can you not love Hell Knot?
That's my number 1.
The story. It's an amazing story. It's a tragic story that's tied into real life tragedy. It's just so damn good. It is. It's one of those movies that they've produced a lot of sequels afterwards, but it has not even come near the original.
You'll never catch that lightning in a bottle again.
Yep.
Ever.
No, absolutely not.
It's my number 1 too.
And guess what? It's my number 1 as well.
What? Are you kidding me?
All 3 of us hit that as number 1, and I'm not surprised at all. It is the number 1 movie we've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah. Okay. But it's weird that all of us got one same movie on the same number.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would ever happen.
Honestly, I expected it to happen here. I did. I really did.
Not after listening to Hardware Gate. No, I was not expecting that to ever happen.
Oh, totally different realms.
All right, Jason, what's your number 3?
My number 3. Well, what can be said? You know what? 1998's Blade. I'm stumbling on my words. The
That's
first
my number
Blade.
2.
Wesley Snipes just crushed it, and it's arguably the best of the series. Because I do like Blade Trinity for above that's this one, but it's a very close race. And yeah, it's Blade. It kicks ass with vampires, some really cool gadgets, and
Chris Christopherson.
And Chris Christopherson.
Just that opening rave scene, you know.
Yes, Tracy Lords.
But see that's my number 3 too.
Jeez,
that's mine was number 2. Just to be clear,
number 2.
It's Dave's number 2.
Blade was number 2 on mine.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you knew Blade had to be on this list.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, Man. All right, James, what's your number 3?
My number 3, 1995, Tales from the Crypt, Billy Zane Bald, Demon Knight.
Nice. That's one that I have been thinking about revisiting for quite some time. I really think I need to pull the trigger on that because I watched the heck out of that movie back in the day.
I remember that. I don't think I've seen it since it came out, but I do remember it.
It's also a fairly early role for Jada Pinkett, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Another excellent soundtrack too.
Well, most comic book movies had to have that.
And William Sadler in a very rare good guy lead role.
And a pretty badass role.
Yeah. That's another guy that usually gets cast in side roles or villain roles.
I don't know.
So-
Look at Silent but Deadly.
That was a side
that?
role. That was the film that a cheesy horror movie made here just outside of Chatham in Camp Bridge, starring Jason Mewes and William Sadler.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Interesting film.
Interesting is a word. I still love that I had seen it, and then when I got to see Kevin and Jay when they were touring the Super Groovy cartoon movie when I was in Chicago, Jay had come out, and as he was letting us know he's going to be out a little bit later, he just came out for a quick smoke while we're waiting for autographs. And he as he's walking away, I said, "Jay, you rocked in Silent but Deadly." Yeah, and he goes, "Great, I tried." You saw that?
he has the stock response, and then he's like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah. At that point, he hadn't even seen the finished film.
Oh wow.
When I was talking to him 2 years ago, they've actually approached him about 2.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He just give me a grin, like one of those sideways grins, like I'm never gonna do it.
At this point, no, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to go down that well.
No. Okay, well, technically, we only have 2 people left to talk because for number 2, we know between David and James, it's Blade, and with myself, it's Batman. So we only have Jason. And for number 1, we know 3 of us are the Crow, so we only have Dave's left for number 1. So, number 2, Jason, what you got?
My number 2 is 1981 Heavy Metal.
Oh God, I'm out.
James, just keep your mouth shut.
Oh, that movie is awful.
Keep your
awful.
mouth.
Oh.
Keep your damn mouth shut, James.
Well, yeah, I'd have to because otherwise vomit spews. Apologize for the little one. Earmuffs.
That's okay. She can handle that.
Heavy Metal is a classic.
Okay.
It's got
Dude,
great
I muted him
casting.
and it still doesn't matter.
I love that. I love Heavy Metal. It's another part of my childhood, and knowing that
I pity your parents for giving you such a childhood.
well, these are the same parents that let me watch Meatballs, Caddyshack, Porky's, Police Academy, National Lampoon's Animal House, and then you get into the action comedies of the 80s, so I think my parents did all right, thanks.
And then you went to some other parent's house and they let you watch Heavy Metal. Is that what it was?
Oh, no. Heavy Metal was... My parents didn't really care. Like, they just let me watch. They on the rare occasion when something was questionable, they made sure that I understood what I was watching, but...
And wait for it. It's got an amazing soundtrack.
And it does.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. There's nothing amazing about that movie.
Number 1, Dave, let's jump right to you. Save some blood.
Right.
Don't say Heavy Metal 2000.
It's my time era, and before everybody was going to the movies multiple times to see one movie, I did it when it came out, and it was Jim Carrey's The Mask. I love it. I still love it. Anytime I'm having a bad day, I watch it.
Nice.
It holds up. It still holds up.
We cannot fault you for that one. That is a great pick.
Yeah.
I can't say I've seen that one in a long time, but I did see it twice in the theater.
Plug your ears. I did school multiple times to go see that movie. Okay, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure she still heard you.
Pretty sure she's going to do it regardless of what you did it for.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you see those which would you choose type of thing on Facebook and whatnot, and so you see like Wolverine and Superman and blah, blah, and then you see the Mask, and you know what? I'm picking the Mask every time.
Yeah.
I will apologize on behalf of Jason for not plugging her ears when he talked about heavy metal.
You know what? I actually own the Blu-ray.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. Very, very nice.
Oh.
But yeah,
I got
a fun movie.
I have one movie on my honorable mentions that I'm not surprised did not come up from anyone else, but I just feel like it'll be an interesting statement here. 1994's Richie Rich.
There's a
I never saw that.
There is a reason that never showed up on
No, Rob, no. You're not. When you think about what the source material was, Macaulay Culkin was a perfect Richie Rich. I realize the movie is cheesy, but that's part of the charm. It's based on a cheesy cartoon.
Nope.
It's not as bad as you're remembering. I'm telling you, it's not as bad as you're remembering.
Pretty much is.
No.
I'd say for my honorable mentions, they've already been mentioned, like Mystery Men, Howard the Duck, but the other one that I just nearly cut off my list was Crow City of Angels, just because it's.
Oh, we lost James.
No.
I don't know what happened there.
No.
What? No
No.
sequel ever.
No.
Yes.
Bad James.
He mentioned heavy metal. He mentioned heavy metal. That means any movie is fair game.
He got me there. All righty. Well, Dave, thank you so much. And Zoe, thank you for sitting in with us.
I want to know
Thanks,
what Zoe's
guys.
favorite comic book movie from before 2000s was. I want to know her number one. What's her number one?
What is your favorite old superhero movie? Like old.
Did you have to say old? Did you, Dave? Did you?
You gotta remember, she's still single digit. She's not 10 yet, so it's old.
No, but you said old.
Oh, the original Wonder Woman? That's a good call.
That's a very good call.
Oh,
The original Wonder Woman. Yes.
Yes.
Now, was that still Linda Carter in the movie, or was she just the TV show?
Did they make a movie with her, like a TV movie, like the Hulk?
It was a TV movie. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's her name that was in it? Catherine something.
It was
Hepburn?
Linda Carter?
Linda Carter was in it.
Linda Carter was she would be the series, but the one before that.
Oh, okay.
It's the same person from That's Incredible. Can't remember her name.
Oh.
Kathy Lee something.
Gifford?
No, not that one. Kathy Lee Crosby.
Yes.
Who the hell?
Yeah.
Who's Kathy Lee Crosby?
Well, he said that's incredible. That's incredible. I'm like, okay, not Fran Tarkenton. Who was the woman?
Although Fran would make a great Wonder Woman. I'm just saying.
Maybe. I'd have to see how he pulls off the swimsuit.
Exactly.
You know, I'm surprised that Dolph Lundgren's Punisher didn't hit nobody's list. That's on my honorable mention.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It wasn't that. Yeah, wait, never mind.
It was the original film that I have said so much about so many others where it should have been called something else and it would have been a great action film.
Yeah.
But it wasn't The Punisher. I still remember the ad that I saw. Marvel was so happy. They said they're keeping the skull. And they point to a picture of the bottom of his knife that's on his chest. And there's a little skull on it. It's like, okay, you guys, well done. That's
Yeah.
But you're right. It was a good action movie. It just never should have been The Punisher.
Yeah.
Truth be known, I didn't even realize it was The Punisher until I was much older.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't.
So you probably enjoyed it the first time then.
Yeah, I thought it was just an action movie about some guy named Frank Castle. I didn't realize.
Nice.
I put two together.
Nicely done. Oh, real quick, before we get off the air, I'm going to do a shameless plug. CKX, the virtual con, is coming up April 24th. Got to make sure to check it out. Mitch Markowitz from Hilarious House of Frightenstein's coming, and the introduction, the opening of the Dangerous podcast with Dangerous Danny Davis.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Plus, sketch duels, kids' crafts, magic, children's stories, podcasts, chatting with Dr. Stevel, cosplay contests, and so much more. The virtual con, right here, April 24th, on this Facebook channel.
Awesome.
Unless you're looking at my personal one, then it's on the CK Expo Facebook page. But other than that, yeah, it's here.
Very cool.
Dave, Zoe, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thanks, guys. Great
Thank you
topic.
for having
Thanks, guys.
us. Bye.
Bye.
Bye for another week at the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
And our guests.
Dave and
Zoe.
And we'll see y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Doodles.
I say shut up! It's a man!